Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver. Here's a quick message from our sponsor, Local Works Wheat Ridge, provided by its Executive Director, Paige Piper.
Local Works is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to make Wheat Ridge a more vibrant and sustainable place to live and work. Our mission and action is programming that provides neighborhood revitalization and small business support, keeping and growing the businesses we know and love in Wheat Ridge. In simpler form, we provide connection. Connection to business, connection to community.
This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Amber Betts.
Hello there, this is Amber Betts, back with another episode of our Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver. I am here with Jeffrey of Epiphany Massage. We're really excited to have you, Jeffrey. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Amber. Very much. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me. Definitely.
Yay. So tell us about Epiphany Massage.
Well, Epiphany Massage is a company that I run solely. I'm the only person that works for the company. I started it a little after COVID. My plan was to start before, but it ended up being after because no one could have really predicted that whole thing. Yeah, I've been running for a couple years now, and it's just a basic massage therapy company, not anything too exciting about the treatments and the things that I offer, but I'm a very community-focused person, and so my goal with the business is really to give back to the community that I grew up in. I'm a local. I love Colorado, and so, yeah, there's... I don't know. It's just something that I love doing, that I enjoy doing, and it's a great way for me to give back.
Amazing. And tell us where you're located.
So that's a little, I have a studio in Evergreen, and that's kind of my base, but I also do mobile massage. So I'm traveling around to people's houses, and my studio used to be in Denver, so a lot of my clientele is actually around Denver Metro, Lakewood, Littleton, Arvada, those sorts of areas. But my home base is in Evergreen, and eventually I would like to kind of prioritize the business to be in Evergreen. But as I build clients and stuff, it's going to take some time. And especially with COVID, mobile sessions became really popular. So
absolutely. Good to know. So tell us about how you got into the business and like your story.
Yeah. So, as most people in my 20s, I was kind of soul searching a little bit, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And like most people, I was in college. I started off at CU Boulder pursuing an engineering degree, and then I kind of moved around a little bit. I was doing computer science for a couple years, and I was kind of looking for something different. I started to realize that college was kind of a training ground for the professional workspace. And there were certain aspects that I didn't enjoy in terms of bureaucratic things, in terms of not really feeling very personal in the experience, more of just like I'm another cog in the wheel. And so I started looking for other options. And at the time, I was actually dating a girl that was doing massage. She was very much into yoga. And then she went through massage school and started massaging. And I really got jealous kind of her lifestyle. Mainly the flip in terms of the priority of her work. And I kind of latched on to her thinking in terms of massage. She was very much a believer that if she kept her system in high health, and if she was stress-free and peaceful, that would be the best means to kind of pass that on to her clients. And so a lot of her day-to-day was focused around her own health and well-being. She spent time in the mornings doing yoga. She tried to eat properly and take care of her body as well as her mind. And for me, that's kind of been the secret magic to my work. And I think it's something that people pick up on pretty quickly in terms of touch. Massage is a very connected practice. It's something where the client and I develop a relationship, and I think people can sense if I'm feeling a little off or stressed or abnormal. And so a big part of my job is really maintaining my own health. And that was really what attracted me to massage rather than, and this obviously isn't for everyone, but I think a lot of the normal workplace, we kind of have a culture of sacrifice whatever you need for the job, whether
Sure.
that's your mental health or emotional health. And I don't really want to make those sacrifices. I want my career to kind of align with my life goals.
Sure.
Health and wellness is right up there at the top of my priority list.
Got it. That's great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like you kind of touched on this, but, that would be a great reason why somebody would, choose you or keep coming back. But why do your clients maybe, choose you over somebody else, or what kind of differentiates yourself? I think what you said touched on that, but tell us more.
Yeah, totally. So, in terms of what differentiates me, I think my personal connection with my clients, I run a very small operation. Like I said, it's just me.
Yeah.
And so it's very different than like a spa sort of feel where the therapists are changing and the front desk people might be changing. And my practice is very personal. And I get to know my clients on a deep level. I know about their families. I know about their stresses in life. And I think that that's really where I can separate myself from a lot of other practices, is that I'm very personal and I take pride in my connection with my clients. It's really important to me, especially growing up here in Colorado and wanting to see, I want to see our communities shift back to how they were when I was a kid, just in terms of being a little more open and loving to each other, a little more caring. The modern world is really stressful, and I think a lot of our local communities have kind of broken down some. And I want to be a force that helps rebuild those communities. And so that's a big part of my focus with my practice, and I think that's where people notice a difference. It's not like you go to the doctor and they forget where your pain is.
Right.
I know all of my clients. I know where their pains originate. I know the types of things they like to do, and their whole lives essentially. And that's also the most fun part about my job, really, is connecting with people. I get to go around all day and just basically talk with friends.
Sure.
Obviously I'm massaging as well,
Yeah.
but
I love that message.
yeah.
So any like life challenges or hardships that you rose above that like made you better or stronger that you want to share with us?
Definitely. So I've had a very rough life, and I think a lot of people go through a lot of trauma, but for me, I dealt with quite a bit of things in my earlier years that I had to get past that have really made me who I am today. And it's a big part of my motivation for what I do, really. So when I was a teenager, I ended up kind of getting involved in a bad crowd and making a lot of poor decisions. And I ended up addicted to opiates. So even in high school, that's when my addiction really started to develop. And in my first years of college, when I got a little more responsibility and freedoms, that's when things really took off. And it was a tough thing to go through recovery and deal with all that sort of stuff. But this year on December 26th will be my 13th year clean.
Amazing.
Clean and sober.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, thank you. So it's been a tough process, but it has given me a much better view of the world and people's struggles. When you go through that, not only do you go through a big process of growth, but you see a lot of other people go through it as well. And I think that's the most powerful part in recovery. A lot of people are addicted to things and they feel like they're alone in their struggles.
Sure.
And then they go to AA or rehab or whatever the case, and then they see a lot of other people that are dealing with the same stuff.
Sure.
And that process was challenging, but it was very, very good. And when I look back now, I think it was an important part of my journey. And I was also very lucky to have the family and the community around me, because they really kind of pulled me out of it.
Sure.
And a lot of people don't have such a strong community. And my family especially really was a big part of my sobriety. And so I kind of relate that to massage because I'm very lucky to have the people around me that I had, and massage is a good way for me to give back. So I kind of see it in that sense. I'm a spiritual person, and so I kind of see that the people that are brought to my table are meant to be there, and I'm meant to be helping take care of them and reduce their stress and pain. And so I think that's kind of my process in terms of, me even being alive today is kind of lucky. And so I need to be giving back with my life. Otherwise, I don't really feel fulfilled.
Sure. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
So, any like news or specials or updates? I know the holidays are coming up. I think gifting massage could be cool, but what you got going on? Anything special?
Yeah, so there's a lot in terms of gifting massage. That's a very common thing this around the holiday season. I have a lot of clients that ask for gift cards and this, that, and the other, or they maybe want someone in their life to be introduced to me to they think I could help them, that sort of thing. I have running discounts. I don't have any holiday deals going on. I do a 20% discount for first-time clients, and I also do discounts for military and public service workers and that sort of thing, teachers.
That's great.
But yeah, in terms of specials, not really. I just kind of stick to what I know. So yeah.
Sounds good. So you mentioned community is important to you and giving back. So what else do you do to get involved in your community?
Well, I would say the biggest things for me, just have to really getting to know people around me in terms of my neighbors, in terms of friends and family. I really prioritize those relationships in my life. I spend a lot of time with my family, same with my friends. And I grew up in a space where I knew everyone on the block. And at some point in my life, that kind of disappeared. And I'm starting to now branch back out and to reach out to people that I see often around my place and to take time to say hi and to talk to them. And outside of that, I'm pretty active in sports, so I'm involved in the community in that way. But that to me more feels just like my friends, because a lot of the sports I play, I grew up playing sports with the same people that are still living in the same neighborhoods. So that feels more just like home to me rather than me trying to build a community. But I am learning more about community building. There's a publisher up in Evergreen that I know. Her name's Jennifer Corbett, and
I know her very well.
Yeah, she is
She's
an
awesome.
amazing woman, and really is. I'm kind of trying to learn from her a little bit about community building and what that really means. Because for me, I want to be a leader, but I don't really know how to go about that and what to do. And so I'm really trying to kind of piggyback off her. And the things that she's doing. And I think that that's part of the reason that I'm here today as well. So it was lucky for me to meet her, and we work in the same building. So
that's
that
awesome.
was part of it. Yeah. Yeah. So that was part of it. I guess I did have some influence on that, just in terms of like trying to meet people in my building space. And then now we have this great working relationship.
Yep. And that's like just how the universe works, like connecting people, because we work on the same team. So we're
Right.
we're all about promoting each other and each other's clients and friends and that kind of stuff. So that's perfect.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is like, you mentioned sports, but what else do you do for fun outside for work?
Well, I like to ski. I guess I could name a bunch of sports that I do.
Yeah.
But
Let me
outside
guess,
of that,
outdoors Colorado stuff.
yeah, outdoors Colorado stuff is big for me, but there's plenty of times where I'm indoors as well. And like, I'm really looking forward to the winter year this year because it's been a little hectic.
Mm,
I think from COVID, we're all kind of used to being at a little slower pace. And this
yeah.
year to me really felt like getting back into the swing of things, getting back into life and being more active. And so I'm feeling a little drained from that. And I'm looking forward to the winter to slow down a little bit and spend more time inside.
Sure.
I do like things like board games and, barbecues with friends and that sort of thing. I spend some time on the computer playing video games. I read, I don't know. I fill my time in kind of random ways. Right now, I'm living with a friend who has 2 young kids.
Oh, wow.
So I spend a lot of time with them and deal with a lot of craziness that kids can bring. But it's something that I'm really looking forward to in my own personal life, starting a family and that sort of thing. And that's probably what I would see as my biggest way to impact or grow the community, kind of going back to one of your prior questions,
Yeah.
is, being the father of some children and having a great family and trying to, kind of mesh them into the community around me. And so that's something I look forward to, and living at my buddy's right now is kind of like a training ground for that in a way. So.
Awesome. Sounds good. So that just about does it. But tell the listeners, Jeffrey, how they book, how to reach you, website, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So if you want to know more about Epiphany Massage, you can go to my website. It's at www.epiphanymassagecolorado.com. You can find more info there about the modalities that I do, my training, things that matter to me in terms of my practice. Massage is something that has a huge range in terms of people's practices and how they approach massage. And I think my approach is a little different than most. I very much have a priority on therapy. I want my clients to feel different. Obviously, stress and relaxation is a very good thing and something that I focus on, but I really prioritize therapy.
Okay.
And so, yeah, you can find out more about me on my website. You can book there. You can see my schedule, my hours, all those sorts of good stuff. And if you'd like to reach out to me and talk to me more, you could call or text me on my business line at 720-254-1751. And I love to have conversations with people. I really kind of want to bring a more holistic approach and other health options for people that's outside of the Western medical system. I think obviously our hospitals and stuff are some of the top in the world, but I do think there are inefficiencies and problems with that system. And a big part of what I bring to the table is helping people educate as well as assist them in their own preventative care. I want people to feel good normally and not have to feel like they need the doctor or some medication just to live and be happy. I don't think those are requirements, even though a lot of people are in that space.
Yeah. Great. Well, thanks for being with us, Jeffrey. That's a lot of good information. We appreciate your time. And thanks for the listeners. Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for listening. Thank you so much, Amber, for having me on. It was a real treat.
You're welcome.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpwestdenver.com. That's gnpwestdenver.com or call 720-295-9588.